Understanding the impact of rising sea levels. Rising sea levels, primarily driven by climate change, pose significant threats to coastal communities and ecosystems worldwide. This summary delves into the causes, impacts, and strategies for managing the risks associated with this pressing global issue. Causes of rising sea levels. The phenomenon of rising sea levels can be attributed to two primary factors related to climate change: thermal expansion of ocean water and melting ice. Thermal expansion. Heat absorption. As global temperatures rise, oceans absorb a significant amount of this heat. This absorption causes the water to expand, contributing to increased sea levels. Melting ice. Glacier and ice sheet loss. The warming climate accelerates the melting of glaciers and ice sheets, particularly in Greenland and Antarctica. The loss of this ice adds substantial amounts of water to the ocean, which further exacerbates sea level rise. Recent data indicates a dramatic acceleration in the rate of sea level rise. Historically, the rate was about 1.4 millimeters per year throughout most of the 20th century. However, between 2006 and 2015, this rate surged to approximately 3.6 millimeters per year. Projections suggest that by 2100, global sea levels could rise between 1.6 and 4.9 feet, with conservative estimates predicting at least a 1-foot increase. Key impacts of rising sea levels. The consequences of rising sea levels are profound and multifaceted, affecting both natural environments and human infrastructure. Increased flooding and storm surges. Higher base sea levels. Rising sea levels mean that storm surges can push water further inland, resulting in more extensive and destructive flooding during storms. Coastal vulnerability. Coastal areas are particularly susceptible to increased flooding, leading to potential loss of property and life. Coastal erosion and land loss. Erosion threat. Rising sea levels contribute to increased coastal erosion, threatening beaches and residential areas. Over time, this can lead to significant land loss. Infrastructure risk. Essential infrastructure, including roads, homes, and businesses, faces heightened risk due to erosion and flooding. Saltwater intrusion. Contamination of freshwater supplies. As sea levels rise, saltwater can intrude into freshwater aquifers and tidal rivers. This contamination poses a serious threat to drinking water supplies and agricultural irrigation. Impact on agriculture. Saltwater intrusion can degrade soil quality, making it less suitable for farming and affecting food production. Habitat disruption. Loss of ecosystems. Coastal ecosystems, including tidal wetlands, are at risk of being submerged or lost due to rising sea levels. This loss disrupts wildlife habitats and biodiversity. Impact on fisheries. The health of marine ecosystems can decline, affecting fish populations and the livelihoods of those who depend on fishing. Projected scenarios for the future. As we look toward the future, the implications of rising sea levels become increasingly urgent. The projected scenarios highlight the need for proactive measures. By 2100, global sea level rise. It is estimated that global sea levels could rise between 1.6 and 4.9 feet, depending on various factors, including greenhouse gas emissions and ice melt rates. Ongoing acceleration. Preparing for impacts. The acceleration in the rate of sea level rise suggests that communities need to prepare for more significant impacts sooner than previously anticipated. Wider effects. Inland areas. The ramifications of rising sea levels extend beyond coastlines, affecting inland areas by raising water tables and complicating drainage systems. Strategies for managing risks. In response to the challenges posed by rising sea levels, communities are exploring various strategies to mitigate risks and adapt to changing conditions. Managed retreat. Relocation of communities. Some areas may consider managed retreat, which involves relocating communities away from vulnerable coastal zones to safer locations. Accommodation measures. Adaptation techniques. Strategies such as elevating buildings, constructing flood barriers, and enhancing drainage systems can help communities accommodate rising sea levels. Land use planning. Thoughtful planning and zoning can minimize exposure to flooding and erosion, protecting vulnerable areas. Structural protection. Infrastructure and investment. Investing in resilient infrastructure, such as seawalls and levees, can provide protection against storm surges and flooding. Ecosystem restoration. Restoring natural barriers like wetlands and mangroves can enhance coastal resilience and provide habitat for wildlife. Conclusion. Rising sea levels, driven by climate change, present a formidable challenge for coastal communities and ecosystems around the world. Understanding the causes and impacts of this phenomenon is crucial for developing effective strategies to manage risks and adapt to future changes. By embracing proactive measures, including managed retreat accommodation and structural protection, communities can better prepare for the challenges ahead. As we move toward 2100 and beyond, the need for action has never been more urgent.